Peace, God.
Peace to the God.
How you, God?
I'm studying 120 right now. Call me back at the guard hour.
I must have been away too long. My feelings are dead. I feel no remorse.
You're welcome. You're all welcome.
So let's start here. Don't shine shoes no more. Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy!
So what?
Tommy D.
So what nickname are we going with? I mean, we got to go through the top four here, right? It's Tommy Cutlets. Tommy, go get your fucking shine box. What else? What else do we like here?
What was the guy's name in Goodfellas? It's Tommy Two Guns, right? That was his
His name was
nickname in real
actually
life?
Tommy DeVito, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, but I think I think in real life they also got like Tommy Two Guns, so maybe we can incorporate somehow
that.
with football with it somehow.
Tommy Two Balls? Nah. it's like a porn star.
When he first came in, I was calling him like Sunday Sauce.
Sunday Sauce? I love that.
Yeah, because he's rolling out on Sundays.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love it. That's a good one.
But it seems like Tommy Cutlets is sticking.
Joe Buck was running with that one. He must have said it like 5 times. They must have said he lives with his parents like 5 times. This poor guy.
And let's be real, like the Cutlets, that nickname can generate the most money, right? All the food places are going to take that, and the
makes a
catering
lot of
halls,
sense.
the stadium's going to incorporate it somehow. They're probably, if he stays the quarterback for a few years, like they're going to open up like a restaurant in there called Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah, think of all the Italian delis in the New York metropolitan area that are now naming a sandwich the Tommy DeVito, right? I got to think there's a ton. Everything about
What
it's
are the
awesome.
odds that this guy, like an undrafted kid from New Jersey, like who is like basically the stereotypical New Jersey, everything about it, and then he lands on New Jersey's team? What are the odds of that happening? It's like you can't even make it up.
Can't even make it up. Yeah, Don Bosco Prep. Shouts to Don Bosco. I broke my wrist there. CYO basketball, 8th grade.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Glory days.
The glory days. Cedar Grove, local kid. He's got. I mean, every stereotype. The family. Now the agent. The agent who, I guess he's not from New Jersey or New York. He's actually from Salem, Mass. And he wrote. Portnoy was tweeting about this. That he wrote some book about some Salem high school football team. Or something like that.
I missed all this. Wow, they get the info out there quick.
Yeah, he's like from Salem, Mass. This agent, but either way, I mean, the top hat and the all he needed was a Tommy gun. It's comical. I mean, DeVitosanity, right? The only thing I compare this to, if he keeps winning, especially, is like a Linsanity type thing.
It is definitely giving me some Jeremy Lin vibes. He's kind of like, just like the way he picked up steam, the way he came out of nowhere, everything about it.
Yeah. So like where, I mean, Adam, you're the Giant fan here. Juice, we would have got his opinion on this. I think it seems like he's all about it. But like, where are you? Because you were kind of out on the season, but now it's got some life to it.
I mean, they're 5-8, and they're like a game behind Green Bay, who's in the playoffs. I know there's a lot of teams in between there, but I mean, the way the NFL is now, how do you not get stuck back in?
Yeah,
you're already out of commission in terms of grabbing a top 3 pick with their own pick, and it seems like they were kind of botching these picks over the years anyway. So how do you not get roped back in?
Yeah,
right.
And they play. They got the Eagles twice though, but I think they win one of those easily, right?
Well,
you think so? I don't see that.
One of them might not matter, right?
Well, here's the problem. Does 8 and 9 get them in the NFC? Right?
I think they got to win them all.
They kind of have to win out.
They got to win Sunday. New Orleans. They got New Orleans.
I think that's a win.
That's a very winnable game. Very winnable game.
Then the Rams. Rams are tough. Rams are kind of rolling too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe this is kind of a
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but I mean, it's been a fun little
fun.
game stretch here. So
It was a completely dead year, and it brought a lot of juice.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, like I enjoyed watching that game last night. That throw he had to Hodgins in the corner of the end zone was, I mean, beautiful. You know, doing the what do you call that? I mean, people can't see it, but you know what I'm talking about. Doing the Italian with the hand.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it really has a name, but like, he's doing that. Everyone's doing that. Everyone's sending emojis with, that emoji. It's like, it's fun. It's good times. But yeah, I mean, I guess the focus the bigger question is, if he does keep winning or keep playing well, what do you do next year? It seems like Dable hates Daniel Jones and really.
Well, I mean, if this isn't the most damning thing for Daniel Jones, like every quarterback that comes in when he gets hurt plays equal or better to how he's played.
Yes.
So I don't know. Like if you're the Giants, I think it's over. I think it's over for Daniel. I mean, I'm not over in the sense that he's never going to play as a Giant again, but I think it's over the idea that this guy is going to be the franchise guy for like 6-7 years, down the line, because you can't get out. It can't be a debate whether your $40 million quarterback is as good as your 7th round or undrafted quarterback that's currently playing that wasn't on an NFL roster last year. It's just, if that's a debate, then the debate itself is over.
Yeah. Yeah. And Daniel Jones, he's going to be hurt, right? I mean, he's not going to be starting the season next year, right? He'll be out until at least middle of the season. I don't know. What's the severity of his injury again?
Well, ACL, I feel, is more like 8 months now. 8 to 9 months.
Yeah, I think he'll be back for the beginning of next year, and he's getting paid $40 million. So my guess is he's going to end up being the starter. But you're right, though. If Tommy DeVito just keeps winning, and like if they win like 4 or 5 more in a row, then I mean, he's kind of giving them no choice going forward. Like if Daniel Jones is healthy, like let's say he was available next week, like if he didn't tear his ACL, he still had the neck thing going on. They're like, you know what? He's cleared. He's good to go. You can't start him, can you?
The fans will go crazy.
Yeah, you can't go back to him. So that's kind of, I think that kind of answers your question right there.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's up in the air, like whether or not Tommy DeVito is on the roster, but Daniel Jones is definitely not going to be the guy. I don't think going forward. He might get a year as a placeholder next year, but he's not going to be the guy.
He's like the Carmelo Anthony in this equation of that Linsanity thing.
Yes.
Carmelo was so jealous of that whole thing.
Yeah, isn't that kind of why it kind of broke up a little bit?
That and
besides that poison pill from Houston.
Well, but Lynn got hurt. Didn't he get hurt? Paul, refresh my memory.
That's right.
I think his ankle, right, or something like his knee,
something like that. And then it was kind of a wake up call when like LeBron and Wade were like double teaming him at half court in the playoffs.
Right. I remember that game at Miami. They were like, jumping on out of the screens, and he couldn't. He looked like a kid. He couldn't like dribble the ball in CYO. He just turning it over every time.
Yeah, they exposed him.
That's right.
They exposed him pretty bad. Yeah, and that was kind of and then he took that bag from Houston and never was the same. I mean, he had a run with the Nets too, didn't he, Adam?
Yeah, I was all in. He got injured there. But
yeah.
He was a good bet.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I guess just you enjoy the rest of the ride, see what the Giants do. I mean, would it surprise me at all if they won out? No. I mean, that run in 2011, 2012, it was miraculous. I mean, nothing surprised me with the New York Football Giants. But, I mean, at this point, it's just fun. Enjoy it. Maybe draft.
And also, I think I'm just happy, like, some of these guys look good. Like, because it seemed like when they were losing, it seemed like this roster just had no talent at all. But now you're like, okay, Hyatt looks like a keeper. Thibodeau looks like maybe like a fringe Pro Bowler the way he's been playing.
Yep.
So there's a couple of guys that you're like, okay, at least you got something going forward versus where it was like, oh man, where are the Giants? Like they have nothing. So I like the way it's gone. So and I hope it continues. But like you can't really have expectations. But it's been fun.
Yeah, they're kind of like. I don't know, like one like stud receiver away from like being kind of legit. I mean, Saquon, right? I mean, he almost blew the game last night, but he's still a stud. The line, if healthy, is good. The defense looks good. Waller's supposed to be good, so they got a tight end. They have some okay receivers, right? I mean, what's What's the if DeVito is playing good quarterback, what's kind of like they got a good coach,
Yeah, you're right. They definitely need a number one and maybe a number two receiver.
Yeah, they have a bunch of number 3 receivers.
Yeah, and then maybe a little offensive line help also. Besides that, I mean, I feel like the roster's pretty decent.
Yeah. So we'll see. Speaking of backup quarterbacks, is Zach back?
Oh.
Was he ever there?
No.
I don't know.
How many? No.
Yeah. Listen.
It's amazing how good you can look when you don't give a shit. Like you have no
exactly.
Right? No inhibitions. It's like
exactly.
And now, there's a tiny bit of pressure for Sunday. Like realistically, they probably have less than a 10% chance of getting in.
Yeah.
If that.
Oh, I just saw it's 11. It's 11%.
11.
Well,
according to ESPN.
I sent that. You saw that recent because I sent that in the chat, and then you saw that recently.
That's where I saw it. Yeah.
Okay. Because I saw something else that was it was less than 1%. I don't know. I'm I don't know where I'm getting the data, but you just saw that recently, so I believe it. But that's not terrible. 11%. I mean,
yeah.
No, if they win Sunday, I'll be kind of because then they play Washington at home, which they'll probably win that.
Which they're teasing is a Rodgers comeback game.
Right.
Christmas Eve.
I mean, I don't see any way that's possible.
I know.
I would not. I wouldn't want to put him behind that line anyway. Like Zach, he was moving. He was under pressure the whole game. Against Houston, which made his stats look even better. Rodgers can't move like that. But yeah, if they beat Miami, I'll be really back into it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to beat Miami. But
well, so yeah, I mean, real quick on Miami, epic choke last night. One for the record books. I think they're the only team ever to blow a 14-point lead with under 3 minutes and it not go to overtime, right? Is that
wow?
Am I getting the stat right? I kind of
probably
might have butchered. Yeah, it was only team ever. Titans are the only team ever to win a game down 14 under 3 minutes and it not go to overtime, something like that. So you get the idea. 2 Monday night games, so it was back and forth. And I remember I had the Giants-Packers game on, and then the top left corner of the screen, you see the Dolphins are up 14, and then all of a sudden they're only up 6, or they were only up 6, I think, and I'm like, whoa, that's weird. So I turned that back on, and crazy. And then I think Tyreek got hurt, and the center's out for the year.
Yeah, who's their glue on the line? He's their top lineman.
Yeah.
And that center, that's a huge deal. So I don't know, man. Every December they always choke.
Yeah.
And they have a very tough schedule coming up. The Jets won't be easy. Anytime you play that defense, it's not easy. It's it's annoying, right, to play against the Jets defense.
And the Tyreek Hill thing could be huge.
Right.
The only thing, doesn't the Dolphins losing last night kind of hurt the Jets' playoff chances a little bit because they got 4 losses. Are they really going to lose out? Right? So you got to almost give them a wild card spot by default.
Who, Miami? I'm just saying they're still going to get the division, I think.
Probably. But then,
Yeah, I would think so.
You kind of almost hope. I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. If the Jets win, like you said, Paul, the Jets win Sunday, I'll start to believe a little bit. But
yeah,
I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, I mean, people forget the game was 0-0 Jets-Texans at halftime. And, Zach had almost a perfect, other than the fumble, had almost a perfect second half.
Yeah.
He looked great.
And I think Hackett let him throw. They were throwing him first down. They were throwing the ball more than 10 yards down the field. So, yeah, I hope he has that same mindset against Miami. You have nothing to lose. They already benched you. This is, the third time he's been benched or whatever?
Yeah.
Just let it rip. You have nothing to lose. Nothing.
Yeah.
So, he can do damage against Miami, but I just hope... I hope the coaches don't stiffen up now. We're kind of in it again. Time to go back to that conservative approach. No, do what worked.
Yeah, play like you're not going to the playoffs. Like definitely not. Like 0% chance. If that's the case.
Will Levis was moving it, so I don't know.
He was.
I feel pretty good about the Jets' chances this weekend, especially if Tyreek goes on the road. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Miami's defense has not really been that good all year. I mean,
no.
Yeah. Even though they got Vic Fangio. How does shouts to Mike? How did he feel about last night's loss?
Yeah, I think he's more of like that, like because they're in such good shape for the playoffs. Like, I mean,
it's like whatever.
Yeah. I think he was pissed, but he's like, okay, fine, like whatever. They're still the 1 seed, I think, or the 2 seed. So, I mean, I think they're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, he wasn't like Frank the Tank, who.
No. I mean, if they lose to the Jets, like maybe sound the alarms a little bit. Right?
Yeah, because they got to play
Buffalo
Dallas and Buffalo.
Yeah,
and
that's 2 tough ones right there.
I don't know who's the other game. I think it's actually Baltimore.
Oof.
Woof. Yeah, that's tough.
Woof.
Yeah,
they could lose.
They lose the Jets.
They could lose
easily.
Wow.
Easily could lose that. They lose this week.
I didn't even realize that. Holy cow! Can you imagine? I can imagine, actually.
I can.
That would be. I mean, listen, you won't find me crying about that. No love lost for that team. That would be something. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, with Zach, if he keeps this going, I mean, I guess I'd be okay not drafting a quarterback. That kind of answers that dilemma, right?
And it shows you how much easier it is to play quarterback when you're not playing from 10-0, 14-3, when the teams know you basically have to abandon the run and they pin their ears back and they come after you, which the Jets did to Houston. And you saw with that line, you can't move the ball against the Jets if they play with the lead like that.
Stroud had his worst game as a pro. And now, I mean, that was, man, his head hit the ground hard. That was brutal. Is he fucked up? Like, is he going to be out?
I don't think he's going to play, honestly.
Damn.
That looked pretty bad. I don't know. That looked really bad. Yeah,
he was shook. I mean, the Jets defense, like Saleh said, they've embarrassed some of the best quarterbacks. So we know what they can do. It's just a matter of
that 300-yard passer stat is so crazy.
I know. It's insane.
Yeah.
I think that's like the craziest stat in the NFL, honestly.
Wait, what is it again? So how many games in a row?
I believe it's
29?
26, 8, like high 20s.
Yeah, high 20s.
Haven't allowed over 300-yard
300. And in this era,
crazy.
Like every team is basically throwing for 300 except for the Jets, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I know. That's why this season's been such like a what if, if Rodgers or we thought after the Chiefs game Zach was gonna like, oh wow, this is nice, like let's go, and then I don't know what happened after that, but
do you think the season might be different right now if they didn't turn to Tim Boyle?
They beat Atlanta. They would beat Atlanta.
Yeah,
they
right.
Beat Atlanta. I
think he would have given Miami a game.
Yeah,
they were in that game until
they were until the fail Mary. Yeah,
they should. Yeah, if they were like 6-7, just beating Atlanta, them going in, you're one game out of a wild card, and it's a whole different mindset right now.
Ugh. Yeah. Listen, I mean, it kind of felt doomed after the 4th play of the season, right? I mean, we kind of relying on they fucked up the quarterback situation here. It's just, it is what it is. It's, would they have, whatever.
The good thing is, Tone, all these guys are back next year.
Yes.
And a year better. That's all. If these guys are free agents, I'd be like, wow, that was the 1 year.
Yeah.
To really do it, but they're going to be back, everybody, next year with the top, let's say top, whatever, 10 pick, right? They're going to get more free agents. So everything is back next year. You're not losing anything.
Yeah.
So we get hyped up and then get shit on again.
Oh, of course.
It's great.
Of course. Yeah, that game just seemed so miserable Sunday at first. It's 0-0, pouring rain. Shouts to my buddy Mealy, who was in the building. He he's back on the train. He's been sending me, playoff scenarios like constantly. But shouts to him. He's definitely drinking the Kool-Aid again.
True diehard.
Yeah, no, fuck it. Why not? Brandon Tierney, same thing. You know, biggest Zach fan alive. he's back. He's back again.
He called it before the game. I think he's going for 303 touchdowns today, and that's what he did.
Yeah, Carton called it too. Carton's been like spot on like every game. Like he knew they would get blown out by the Chargers. Like he's been like spot on like every game. He said they'd win this game in a blowout too, like double digits, and they did. It's like it's kind of weird how on point he's been. But yeah,
too bad he can't gamble anymore though.
Yeah, it's true. Oh well. Can we talk about Mahomes here? Speaking of the Chiefs, speaking of that game where the other game where Zach played really well, where we got robbed at the end of the game on 2 shitty calls. What the fuck, dude?
What I don't understand is like the call was blatantly correct.
Blatantly correct. Like
so, what is the hoopla?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, that was a bad look. And the whole if you want to be mad on the sideline and like yell at the ref, okay, you can deal with that. When he went to go talk to Allen in the middle of the field after the game, there was no oh, congratulations, blah, 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 blah. It was like, that was the worst effing call I ever saw. I can't believe he did. And Allen's like, bro, what?
Yeah, Josh Allen seems
I've never seen that.
Josh Allen
he
seems
looked at him.
Yeah.
He's like, huh?
Josh Allen's like the nicest guy alive. What's he gonna yeah, he was like shocked. He's like, yeah.
Okay.
What do you want me to say?
Right. Yeah, that was weird. That kind of showed me his true colors, I think. In that documentary on Netflix, I got turned off by him on that, and now this just proves the point even more.
Yeah, and he just kept
He's a phony. He's a phony.
He kept chirping about it in the press conference. I mean, it was constant. And then even Andy Reid was saying some shit.
Andy Reid said something too, right?
Are you guys all blind? This guy Tony, he's cost you so many times. That guy's a disaster.
Yeah, he is.
How about the play though of Kelsey?
Thank God.
Forgotten about, but that was
that was incredible.
That was amazing.
Thank God that didn't count. It was amazing. Let's be honest. Travis Kelce, Mr. Pfizer, not a fan of him, but he is an unbelievable player. That was sick. If that did count, it would have been unbearable. Unbearable.
A minute left tie game, and he's throwing the ball 20 yards.
That's so ballsy.
That reminded me. Didn't Randy Moss do something like that?
He did.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The play where he's getting tackled and he throws it over his head. Yeah, that reminded me of that. But and that one counted. So, yeah, that would have been unbearable if that happened. I think just Twitter would have exploded. So we dodged the bullet there, but yeah.
It's nice. They're definitely their magic has they washed off a little bit.
Tasted their own medicine.
About time.
Yeah, about time. I don't know what the future holds for them. I think for the rest of the league, I mean, Niners seem like the team. I don't know who's coming out of the AFC, but who's beating the Niners right now? They're healthy. They're dominant. I mean, they're so good.
Yeah. Yep. I don't see anyone.
What about Dallas? You think Dallas can give them a little run there?
If Dallas gets the home game somehow.
They're so good at home.
Yeah, they need that home game.
They're so good at home.
But at San Fran, no shot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what kind of you're hoping, right, for the NFC Championship is, that's the classic 90s Cowboys Niners. Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be fun.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
AFC though, right now, I really don't know. I don't know. Ravens, Buffalo. I guess. You think Buffalo is they found something?
I think they found it in Philly.
Yes.
They should have won that game. And then at KC, I think they're going to get better and better. They made that. But I can't. Freaking McDermott, the whole thing.
What, with the 9/11?
Yeah.
So bizarre. And why did it just come out now? That was 2018, crazy. They said?
Yeah, 4 years ago, right? So.
Oh, my God. Weird.
Bizarre.
Very bizarre. Yeah, I guess, but even the Ravens, I don't know. Rams they played them tight that game. Ravens, they're weird sometimes.
They're very weird.
The AFC, it could be a surprise team. It could be the Browns for all we know.
The parity is insane this year.
Insane. And that's why, You know, it's funny. I feel like we used to complain about like dominant teams and like, oh, we need more parity. We need more parity. I don't know. I miss the dominant teams. I like when there's like a upset every once in a while. When it's like literally every week, it's kind of like I don't know.
It kind of swung too far. That's why. Like
Yes.
we've all been saying that the NFL this year has been not the same product.
Right.
Obviously, because a lot of that has to do with the quarterbacks being hurt. But when all these mediocrity just kind of means everybody sucks.
Yes.
So it's like every game you're watching, it's like two teams that aren't really that good at playing each other.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of ruined the quality.
Yeah.
And you want to have that juggernaut to root against, like when it was the Patriots.
Yes.
You know, no matter who they played, you were going against them, and it was like when they did lose, it was like hell yeah, like it was so rare.
Yes.
You really like celebrated it. It's not the same anymore. Yeah.
It feels like there's no, like when you're like, oh man, I liked when there was like one or two upsets. It feels like there's no upsets anymore because like there's no such thing as an upset.
Yeah. 100%.
Like even last night, like the Giants winning, like they were a huge dog, but like I don't know, it wasn't that shocking. I guess the Titans game would qualify more, but I think that was because more of the comeback.
Was that the biggest? Yeah, that's a good question. What has been the biggest upset this year? That's a good, it's tough to say because there's been so many.
My guess is that one. I think that was double digits, right? They were double digit favorite.
Yes, there was 13
points. Yeah, it had to be that one.
Yeah, you're right. And they were down there. Miami was about to cover.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What a choke job. That was crazy.
And you know that there's some like idiot out there when they're up 14, they just threw a whole bunch of money on like the Dolphin money line. You know, $1,000 to win like 30.
Oh my God.
$3 just to like be like, it's a guarantee. Nope.
Well, it's funny. I don't know if you guys follow Bill Simmons on. Well, Paul, I don't know if you do anymore. But
no. I don't know who that is.
But he was on the Sunday pod with cousin Sal. He's been in some pool for like 30 years, and going into the Monday night games, he was undefeated. And he said no one has ever gone undefeated in a week in this pool for 30 years. All he needed was the Dolphins to beat the Titans, and he would have done it.
Wow. That's incredible.
Incredible. Yeah. So it's
that's crazy. Yeah.
Crazy, right? I mean, the one time it's ever happened, what happened is pretty remarkable. But yeah, speaking of the Patriots, Belichick. So is it official? He's out. This is it. Last hurrah.
Sure seems like it. Yeah, that guy who reported it was Tom Curran. Like he's really like the number one Boston reporter, and like you said, McAfee. He which is kind of ballsy.
Right to Kraft. Yeah. What was that about?
So I don't know if Kraft was expecting that. Like it's really kind of awkward for him to put him on the spot like that. But and then Portnoy came out with like an emergency thing on Instagram. Yeah. And of course he's like, whatever, they can never win a game again, and I'm good with my 6 rings, whatever.
Yeah, his rings.
I think it's it, man. I think it just kind of ran its course on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, he's 70-something years old. Why not? What else do you need to prove? You know what's hilarious, though? If it really is, if this is it, his last game, of course.
Jets. And if it's like somehow the Jets...
It matters, right?
Yeah. If they get to 8,
oh, no.
If they get to 8-8 and they have to win and 9-8 and they lose, bro, oh my God.
one last fuck you for Belichick.
Yeah. Like
I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if that's a win and in game, Belichick's last game, and we lose. I'll lose my mind. Like,
well, it proves a lot of things. It proves the devil is for sure real.
Yes.
Name it for sure. We can cross off a lot of lists with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. But
I think they were saying maybe Washington for him, the new owner, pay a lot of money. Give like a draft pick to New England or something.
I get it. He's a Maryland guy, so it's like, he's going home, so to speak. But wouldn't coaching Navy or something like this? Wouldn't that be like a better move for him? You know,
if you were an NFL team, would you want Belichick right now?
Probably.
I would not. No.
Probably not.
Like, yeah, I don't really see it. I mean, maybe I guess Washington is the only team to me that might make sense just because there's like Rivera's probably definitely gone and they need something to make a splash.
Yeah.
But besides that, I would like if you told me I could trade Dable for Belichick, I'd say no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think most teams would say that. I would think.
Yeah.
It just seems like his offense, they haven't changed it in a while. Like, they were the originators of the whole, like, you know, heavy wide receiver screens and the pick plays and all that stuff, double tight ends.
Yeah.
Everyone does that plus like 10 times more imaginative things now. They look like they're stuck from 2005.
Yeah. And you can tell, I mean, he doesn't show much emotion ever, but like you can tell he kind of doesn't care. He's like, whatever, you know.
Yep.
Good run. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Who could be? You think Bill O'Brien steps in, or maybe his son, Belichick's son?
They're saying Gerard Mayo.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Yeah.
They say Gerard Mayo is next in line.
Really?
The old linebacker. Yeah.
Where's he now?
I think he's the D coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Assistant head coach, coordinator. Yeah.
Interesting.
Players love him, and yeah, I'm sure
I can see that.
He would do well.
I mean, it's a good gig. You're going to get a top 2 or 3 pick. So get a quarterback,
I hope they fall out of that somehow. I don't know how, but
they did win Thursday, so it's not like they're trying to tank.
But then everybody else won too. Arizona won in
right.
Pittsburgh. The Jets won. The Giants won. Titans won.
Bears won.
The Bears.
Bears won. Yeah.
The Bears look pretty good.
Yeah. Who had Bears? I'll have to look back. Someone picked Adam. That was you.
Yeah, they're coming on.
Yeah, you're not looking too bad there.
I think I was a year early because I think next year they might be real good.
Yes. Yeah. They have a real dilemma. I mean, they got 4 more games to figure it out, but Fields sometimes he looks awesome, and then sometimes I don't know. It's hard to tell. They're gonna have to really think about that one.
That's tricky. Yeah,
I'd roll with Fields. I would.
Yeah, roll Fields. Okay. Yeah.
I keep him. Yeah.
I would too.
The only thing with that is you're gonna have to pay him, so they might like reset the quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. Reset the clock.
That's the only thing. Yeah, I think they like him as a player, but the whole contract. Yeah, it's tricky.
And you have 2 picks in the top 5. How do you not take a quarterback? I feel like,
Yeah, it's a good point too.
It's so up in the air, and there's so many quarterbacks in this draft, which brings me to my next, the Heisman. Jaden Daniels. I think he was kind of like the favorite. He won it. Is it still Caleb May at the top of this draft? I mean, it's going to change 1,000 times before April, right? I mean, Penix, if they somehow win the title and he goes undefeated, I mean, how does he not get,
right.
all this? I feel like they're still getting slept on. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's too early, I guess, to speculate.
I'm sure
I think Caleb, a lot of Caleb stuff, I feel like they're kind of going by last year more than this year, which is a little scary.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw the picture of him in a dress. It's like, come on, man. What are you doing? Yeah, have you seen that pic?
No.
I'll send it to the chat later. Yeah.
It was recently? He was wearing...
Yeah, he's in a dress. I think it's a GQ. He's in a dress with sneakers on. Yeah, so whatever.
Meanwhile, you haven't heard about that. I guess, well, you heard about it. I don't know if it was all over big media accounts or whatever. But, he's wearing a dress, right? You would think that'd be compared to remember when Mark Sanchez was in GQ, wasn't he pretending to be a lifeguard or something?
Oh yeah,
yes.
I do remember this.
Yes.
He got so much shit for that.
Yeah. Well,
But this guy wears a dress and it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean you'll see some maybe some yeah, I mean it's the woke stuff. They're not gonna bash him for that. And listen, if he happens to be gay, so be it. Be gay. I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Be gay, but yeah.
But then it just shows you the difference when Sanchez, it was he was okay, he's at the beach.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Who cares? He's from Orange County, California. He grew up at the beach. Mission Viejo. Yeah, not a big deal. But yeah, let's talk about the college playoff. This is gonna be awesome. First off, did you know they moved it to New Year's Day?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, I love
5
that.
p.m.
I love that.
That sucked on New Year's Eve last year. Like,
Yeah. I barely watched.
Because Katie and I went out to dinner. So, like,
Yeah, me too.
I watched the end of that Michigan TCU game, like, at the bar, and, like, Georgia, Ohio State. It literally ended as the ball dropped. It was like,
right.
It was just too much going on New Year's Eve. So that was very smart move New Year's Day, because you're not doing jack shit.
Yeah, you got food, order in, whatever.
It's
and
perfect.
Chill.
It's perfect. So, Michigan, Bama, Rose Bowl, Pasadena. It's going to be epic. And Washington, Texas, also amazing game. Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. I can't wait. I can't wait for this playoff. It's going to be awesome.
Great games, but do you agree that they got the 4 best teams in?
I think it's so hard to tell because FSU, their defense is amazing, right? I think it's a top 4 defense, right?
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
Jordan Travis, it's a shame he got hurt. I mean, clearly they got penalized for that. Do you think if he played and they blew out Louisville, and I thought they won fairly convincing.
Oh, if Travis was healthy, they'd 100% they'd be in.
They'd probably be in.
So who? So Bama would have. Well, yeah, I guess Bama would have been out then because Texas beat Bama.
Yep.
That's how it would have played out. Okay.
Well, if you're putting the best 4 teams in, we had this conversation earlier, but you have to put Georgia in. Don't you?
I know.
You have to.
They are.
They lost a conference championship game to, one of the, top dynasties ever in the past, 10 years, Bama, by 3 points on a neutral field.
On a neutral field, yeah.
I believe they'd be a double.
Play well.
Yeah, I think they'd be a double-digit favorite against all 3 teams except Alabama, and against Alabama, I think they'd be like 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's tough.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the last year of having this discussion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Next year, it's a 12 team, which, I mean, to go from we used to just kind of have a national title game, and that was it. 2 teams, that was it. To 4 teams to 12. It's gonna be it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be crazy, and then obviously no Pac-12, and we'll see how that kind of plays out and whatnot. So, people are saying, oh, but then there's going to be the argument that 13th team left out. It's like, I don't know. Is that going to be controversial? No one's going to care. Who's the number 13 team this year? Ole Miss?
Exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what? I think there'll be some.
A 2 or 3 loss team.
I think you might get some convo on it though.
You will. You will. You will.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait. And
for sure,
the transfer portal. So Riley Leonard, Duke, goes to the Irish.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I like it.
You like it?
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. USC, they're in on Cam Ward from Wazoo and Will Howard from Kansas State. I didn't watch Cam Ward a lot. I just know he's good from word of mouth. But Will Howard, I watched a few Kansas State games. He's really good. So
he's good.
They should
have beat Kansas.
Yeah.
This year.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Texas. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, they should have beat. They did beat Kansas. They didn't cover. I was watching that game. That was Rico Bosco's. That was Rico Bosco's game of the year. Was Kansas State -9.5, -9.5, and they didn't cover. They won, but they didn't.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, you sent the list of all the quarterbacks transferring. It's kind of wild.
It's a lot.
Is this going to be every year?
Do it next year.
I think Ewers will be back, and then Arch Manning is going to transfer.
Interesting.
Do you think Texas might be inclined to keep Manning?
They want Ewers
over
so
Ewers.
Ewers
is good. Really good. He is really good. But if you think about what Manning brings in terms of revenue, possibly.
Oh,
and then
insane.
Also his potential. I don't know. I feel like.
I think they're so arrogant, Texas. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they probably don't care. Yeah, you're right. That's true.
And if they win it, I mean, Ewers is probably going to declare, right? What's the point?
Well, that's the thing. If they win and he declares, then they make a decision for Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's man, all the QBs. I'm just wondering if this is going to be a every year occurrence where there's going to be like literally 10 quarterbacks moving around.
I think it'll change a little bit because the COVID thing is done after this year.
What's that?
Like the 1 year transfer, or I don't know. There's something with that where it expires this year, where you can transfer without sitting out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
You know, so unless you're a graduate transfer or there's some like hardship waiver, which guys have been getting like no problem. They'll be like, oh, you know, my brother's dog died back home, so I got to go back there, and they're granted these waivers like to play without sitting out. They kind of give them out like no problem.
Right.
So it's kind of awful gazy, but yeah.
It's wild, that and the NIL money. So Marvin Harrison Jr., he can make more money staying at Ohio State than going to the NFL. Did you see this?
I
That's
did.
insane. I know that.
Who is giving this money? And obviously they have like crazy money. They don't care, right? But like, doesn't there become a point if you're doing this year after year? Like, where's your return on the investment except for your fandom of your team winning? Right?
Like, who is the alum from Ohio State who has this kind of money? Ohio's like, when you think of like wealth management people, asset management people, they didn't go to like a Big Ten school. They probably went to like Ivy League or something, right? You know, like Dartmouth or I don't know. Like, where's this money coming from?
There's no oil money in Ohio State.
Yeah, no, Texas maybe, but like, you know, A&M has a lot of money. You know, they're never good, but they always have a lot of money. It's weird. So he can make like, what'd they say? Like, oh God,
20 million.
20 million or something.
That's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
that's a rookie contract right there. Is like a top 5 pick.
Yeah. So they don't even have a
so
quarterback
why would you
right
come
now.
out?
What's that?
Why would you come out?
Yeah,
like you're set. You can even offset that even more with like insurance money if you got hurt. Like he wants to beat Michigan, but he'll be out. He's coming out though.
Yeah, I think he you know he declares, but still crazy. There will be, you know, one of these deals where they end up staying. That's it's gonna happen. It's still could happen.
It's also a good recruiting tool. Like you don't know if like an Ohio State guy put that out. So like all the future recruits, like, hey, you know, we have 20 million. You know what I mean? Like, stay here.
That's true. Yeah, pretty wild
a lot
stuff.
of money though, college. And then next year you got all the teams changing the conference. Big Ten.
Crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting. And that happened in college basketball too, correct?
Yeah.
Pac-12 is just done, period, for those two sports. Is it all the sports? Is Pac-12 just done?
Yeah. Because I read like there was issues. They're like, there's not too much money for like volleyball, right?
Right.
So these teams have to like travel. It's tricky. The geographical, it makes no sense at all.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Let's talk about the NBA In Season Tournament. What did we think? What are our afterthoughts on that?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I could use a little tweaking, but I was going to say I really liked it. It made these games kind of matter a little bit. You could tell the players were really into it because they really wanted that $500,000.
Yep.
You know, the different sports and stuff like that. And I think it'll get bigger every year.
I think it will.
I agree.
I think this is like the first year they were kind of testing things out. You know, I wasn't a fan of how the court looked, but whatever, no big deal. Lakers, you know, they're getting clowned on because they want to raise a banner. You know, of course the Lakers, they love these tournaments that they win.
Mickey Mouse.
They win the bubble. They win this. It's kind of funny.
The bubble.
It felt like the bubble, that championship game, a little bit, right? Because it was like dark.
Yes.
The seats. It had
the crowd wasn't like very into it.
Wasn't very into it. It felt like a bubble game. It was, and you know, Lakers were there, so yeah, interesting stuff.
But they gotta fix the scheduling. Like the Knicks their reward for getting to the playoffs is like an extra game against Milwaukee and Boston.
Right. Yeah, they're the only team in the league to have more away games than home games now.
And they play Milwaukee and Boston 5 times each.
Yeah, because they had to play them in the tournament, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. They get like it's kind of unbalanced. I don't know how you fix that. Though.
So, like on the flip side of that, the Nets by not making it, and they went I think 4-1 in these games, but they lost on like point differential. So instead of having to do what the Knicks did, the Nets got to play Washington and Atlanta and beat them both. So they got 2 wins.
You see?
Yeah,
they came out ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like them not making it was actually kind of big for them.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, they'll probably end up tweaking some things. I'm sure from it. You know, definitely like learn some things, but yeah, we'll see how it goes next year. What they end up doing. I'm trying to think like what else. I'm still confused about it, but I think we'll get used to it as it goes along.
I think it was Mikal Bridges or somebody else that mentioned that they think they should move this thing a couple weeks later even. What do you guys think of that?
Like past the new year?
Yeah, like maybe start it in January or something. Like that's because he said that's when it gets really tough.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it's the grind. I'd be for that.
Kind of splits up the season a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
Especially because the unofficial start of the NBA season is kind of in January anyway. After NFL season's over.
Yes.
So it kind of makes sense. Like, like people are like I think I've talked about it before. Part of my take, they do their NBA, or they did it last year. I don't know if they do this every year, but they did their season preview in January.
Yeah, you're right here.
You know, like maybe maybe they move it back to then. That's kind of a nice idea.
I can see that.
Yeah, yeah. But then you're competing with. See, the thing is, you're competing with NFL playoffs, so I don't know. I don't know what they'll end up doing, but that's a good idea. Speaking of Mikal and the Nets, you had a tweet, Adam.
Oh, yeah, I did.
A little bit of a controversial tweet. Are you still getting tweets on that?
Yeah, there was it's like one of those things that splinters off into other arguments, and then there's like other people arguing with each other. And like I haven't responded to anything. Sometimes I'll open it up to see what they're arguing about.
Yeah,
it's actually been tremendous for a couple days.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It was really great. I mean, you had some people agreeing with you. You know, it was kind of lopsided, but.
Listen, I'm going to die on that hill. I think so many straight up in a trade. Mikal Bridges has more trade value than Kevin Durant. I'll stand on that.
Durant, Stan, Homer guys that no matter what he does, like you can't change their mind, and even if it's right in front of them.
Bottom line
and
is,
it was 90% of the people responding to Adam were probably
like Katie's GOAT 17.
Yeah,
really, doesn't agree with me.
Yeah, it's like some like 12-year-old who, who knows. But yeah, I mean.
By the way,
yeah.
Sorry, Tony, you go.
No, all I was gonna say is Mikal. He plays all 82 games. Durant plays what? 50, 60 games? I mean,
50,
he's considerably younger, better defender. Yeah, I'm with you, Adam. But go ahead.
Also, Katie's going to say, I'm not going to there to 20 teams. Like, you have to factor that in also.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I don't think Bridges is doing that. So.
No.
Right.
But, Paul, what were you going to say?
Oh, yeah. So I'm watching the Laker-Mav game right now, and LeBron, the things that he's still doing, I think he might be, I might have to switch my pick. He's the best ever. I don't know.
He had
it's unbelievable.
He had some move. I think it was last week. He had some insane like layup. I forget what it was, but it was just like, this guy's like, he's our age. He's just like, he's doing.
He's having like a comeback year this year.
Yeah, he just did a spin move from like half court and just went over 3 guys for a crazy layup, double clutched it. He's not slowing down. So when is he going to slow down?
Well, he's like, he's got the TB12 method thing going on, right? Him and Brady, they found the fountain of youth, so to speak. And
it's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly wants to play with Bronny. So Bronny had his debut with USC. They lost to Long Beach State, who, shouts to Long Beach State. I mean, they've beat Michigan, they beat DePaul, and now they beat USC. You know, they're no slouch, like Paul says.
No.
You know, the Paul's trader says doesn't matter
They're
until
legit.
March. You know.
I've been actually watching a lot. You know, I'm into it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're a college hoops guy. I wish I could get more into it. I don't know. State the case for why I should get like more into it, or why we all should get more into it. People listening.
Because these are the guys that are going to be in the NBA like in the next like year. So get to know them now, and you know, it's good to see.
Yeah,
Yes, I like that. That's good.
I mean, I used to love college basketball, but I think what turned me off, not turned me off, but like
The conference realignment.
no, I think it was just that a lot of players weren't coming. You know, they were doing one and dones. I feel like when we were growing up, they would stay a little longer in college, or they would go to college. Now I feel like they go to these other leagues. It's like confusing, or they go.
Yeah.
I think the
go
conference
overseas.
thing got me, Paul. Once the
That
Big
too.
East wasn't the Big East anymore, I was kind of like,
It did
I
for
don't
me,
know.
big time.
Yeah, like
it's not the same.
yeah, like growing up in the Northeast, we didn't really have like a big college football school or conference per se. But in college basketball, it was the Big East. That was awesome growing up. Like the
It
best. So, yeah, that's definitely, it has a lot to do with it. You're right. For me. Big time. But I want to get back into it. How's Cuse doing?
They're good. They just beat Georgetown, smacked them around.
Okay.
It's different now because they play like, full court, man-to-man, pressure defense. It's so different.
Weird.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Had to be done. You know, it's this reminds me of like Belichick. Like these guys, they
Very
get
much.
old. It's time to go.
Yeah.
You know.
Stuck in their
Wake
ways. Speaking of Cuse, Cuse football.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
I don't know, man. If they keep this up, like they might. This guy might turn them into like a powerhouse, like of the Northeast, like they were in the early '90s, mid '90s. Like,
Were they?
yeah, when they had McNabb and all those
Oh,
guys.
that's right.
That's right.
Mike Freeney, they had Marvin Harrison. They were
Oh, yeah, they had
really
a lot
good.
of guys.
They had a lot of guys.
That's true.
Like why not? There's not. What's the top Northeast program? Penn State.
It is Penn State.
Penn
Yeah,
State, yeah.
Like there could be multiple. Like
for
make
sure.
it like, hey, dominate the tri-state area, and with 12 teams, like, hey, like you have a chance at the playoffs now.
Yes,
So anything
absolutely.
is possible.
Absolutely.
That's what it's good for. It's good for like these random teams. Like, if it was the top 4 teams, a team like Syracuse would never, ever, ever get there. But with 12, you never know. One like really hot year, you're right there.
Yeah, like would Liberty have snuck in? No, probably not. Because they were
Probably
undefeated
not.
this year. Probably not, yeah. The Conference USA.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I doubt it. But
What
yeah.
about Rutgers recruiting class in college hoops?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Fab Five, Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that about? So yeah, I mean, we've been missing a good Cuse football team and a good Rutgers basketball team.
Yeah, this is like they have one of the best classes coming in a long time, they said.
Yeah, so that'd be nice. That'd be exciting.
Now he's got to do something with it next year because if he don't, no other kid's gonna come there again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like his one shot.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, Rutgers, man, and that gym gets freaking loud. So
It does.
If it gets packed there, like it'll be fun.
Yeah, we went to a Rutgers Cuse game, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Many moons ago. Yeah, it's cool. And we gotta try and get to maybe the dome for Cuse game
For sure.
football too.
Absolutely. Yep. Big time.
We'll see. Before we go, we gotta talk about the Knicks. We didn't really get into that. It kind of feels over in a sense because Mitch is out 2 months. I mean, but I don't think so. I don't know.
They'll adapt. I mean, Tibbs always finds a way somehow. He got hurt last year for a while too.
That's true. You're right. I don't know if he was out this long, but
no, I think it was like a month.
Yeah, but Hartenstein's solid. I mean, Jericho Sims, I don't think he's really the guy. I don't know if they make a move. I mean, do you give Dwight Howard a call? Like, hey man, like, come on, America's woke. It's okay.
Oh yeah, what's going on with that? Didn't something come out with him?
He basically said so what? I'm gay. Like, right?
Yeah.
Without saying it, kind of.
Oh, because there was a lawsuit That's right.
Yes, and he was just like, yeah, like he didn't deny it.
He's like, you can't blackmail me. I'll tell everybody. Yeah.
But he's in China, right? He's just is that where he is right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe Taiwan.
Well, one of those.
They gotta get someone. They need another big.
Yeah. So I
Just
don't know.
a body.
I don't know who's like out there who they could just kind of like get, whatever.
It'd be nice if they had the Mavs pick, which they should have had this year. They have Lively, who's looking freaking great.
Yeah.
He does look good. Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad.
But I don't know. I guess they're gonna play Hart a lot. If he played last night, I hope that's a switch went off for him because he looked
I think even
so
Mitchell Robinson's been awesome, but like I feel like teams can overcome the loss of a center these days unless it's like a Jokic type. Like they can patchwork it for a couple weeks, for a couple months, and be fine.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's not like he's putting up 30 a game. He's,
right. Yeah.
His best quality is offensive rebounds, which is nice, but Tristan Thompson was like the best offensive rebounder in the league.
Yeah.
For how many years? No one cared. So,
and Hartenstein's he's not a slouch.
No,
he's
I
good.
like him a lot. Yeah, he's great. He busts his ass. What I'd like to see him is like on the Clippers. He was like kind of like top of the key. Passing. Shooting threes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more of that. I know Tibbs doesn't like to do that with the bigs. He likes a traditional center, but I don't know. Try something different.
Yep.
I don't know about like a trade now. Like, what do they like? They go into the deadline with a little different strategy here with Mitch out. Like, I don't know what the plan is.
They got to do something. It was just minor.
Yeah, like a DeRosa. Or Bogdanovich. Just get another guy who could score. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the team's lacking exactly.
I would love Markkanen, but I think he'd cost too much.
How would that work though with Markkanen? With Randall? You saying trade Randall for him?
I don't know. I guess he could play can he play the 5?
I don't know. Did Markkanen?
Yeah, I was thinking you play them together. You play with center.
Did he ever play that with the Bulls?
He did.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I always saw him as like a stretch 4, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know how he'd fit with Thibodeau. Thibodeau might be like, we finish soft.
Yeah,
bastard.
soft Euro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's his cup of tea.
But they got to do something, man. Like it's.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't keep these draft picks forever.
Kenny Smith.
You have Fournier's expiring contract. You got to use that.
Yes. Yeah. Shouts to the Don. He was telling me, what did he say? IQ, Grimes, and Fournier and 3 picks for Spida. Does that get that done?
Cleveland's not going to trade him.
But
I was going to say in a vacuum, I think that would be enough, but I don't think they're going to trade him.
But is he a free agent next summer or the summer after? I always forget.
The summer after.
After.
Oh, it's not even this summer? Oh, yeah. Okay.
No rush for them.
Okay, I thought it was next summer. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, unless he like asks out. But right now, I don't know. I think it's all speculation.
Okay. I mean, it almost seems inevitable that he'll be a Knick one day. I don't know. Unless he demands a trade, it probably won't be until free agency at this point. But Kenny Smith.
Adam, who
okay.
the Nets to get?
Man, I love the market. I feel like the Nets are just going to get whoever the Knicks don't. Because I think the Knicks have a little bit more assets. They're a little bit further along than the Nets, so they'll probably have their first choice of the next guy that comes that like decides they're getting traded, and then the Nets will just get like whatever other guys left. So, like I thought Mitchell would be the guy for the Nets just because I figured the Knicks would get a bigger fish, like maybe an Embiid type or something like that. But I guess we'll see how it plays out.
They're hanging around. Like, what are they, 12 and 10?
Yeah, pretty good. They're 12 and 10. The advanced metrics are really good for them also. They're like the best rebounding team in the NBA. They're like 8th or 7th in offense. And they haven't really missed a beat since Simmons got hurt. So I don't know. I think it's looking up for them. They have $1 million draft picks to trade. The Simmons contract could be used in a trade to match salary. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. But I think they're in good shape.
They're very athletic. I like watching them.
Yeah, athletic. They got a lot of length. They got some shooting. And Jock Fort's actually been pretty good. I can't really... Like, I was knocking him earlier for the Cam Thomas stuff, but he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
The
East is just, like, it's all mishmash. There's so many teams in that, like, 4 to 10 range. I don't know. Orlando, is it for real? It's got to be, right?
With what? Say that again? Sorry.
Orlando. I don't think it's a fluke. I think they're here to stay.
Yeah, and Wendell Carter, he's on my fantasy team. He's been pretty much hurt like most of the season. They're not missing a beat.
They might have the best forward combo in the NBA, right?
Paulo and
Is it too early to say that? Yeah.
You got both Wagner brothers, right?
Yeah, Wagner's. Yeah. Both of them. You got the George Zazi from Indiana, who's been playing well.
They got a lot of size.
Isaac and Suggs has been playing very well.
Yeah, Suggs and Cole Anthony did the LeBron and Wade from the Eagles.
Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah, Adam, you might have been onto something with that was your sleeper team.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be this good, but I do like that combo of Paolo and Franz. I think it's really tough to match up with two forwards that big.
Yeah. Paul, yours was the Pacers, right? That was pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Mine was the Hawks, not looking good. Right?
Halliburton might be the MVP.
Who's that?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Why not?
I think he's third. I think right now the favorite is Joel, then Jokic, and then I think it's Halliburton third.
Wow.
And supposedly they want to make a move too, for like a wing. I saw was like the rumor. So they might be a OG or Siakam spot.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
how about Dante Exum? He's got 7 threes against LA today.
What?
Come on.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, and he had a great game. 3 good games in a row now.
What the hell? I didn't even know he could shoot.
He's back.
Was he ever hit?
Australian Penny?
Oh, yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, he had a lot of hype coming out, and then
he did.
He had a lot of injuries, right? I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah,
but
he was in Australia for a little bit. He came back, but now he's Luka just makes everyone better.
Yeah, except for Kyrie.
Oh my God! Yeah, let's talk about that. He's in a boot, crutches.
I mean,
yeah, I thought it was a minor thing. I thought it was like a good day-to-day thing. And all of a sudden, he's on crutches.
It was going to be something, right? There was going to be something with him. Always is, and that's it. So that's probably all you can say about that. Yay.
And Durant, everything, man. It's Are they ever going to play a full game, Phoenix, before playoffs, or?
Like, you mean full squad?
Yeah.
No, it's like the Nets all over again.
Yeah, it really is.
That's
really what it feels like.
Those guys will play like 10 games total. They'll get to the playoffs, and then they'll choke somehow. They'll make it like second round, something like that. I don't know.
It's crazy. It's never ending.
Yeah. And Booker, I mean, he's another guy. He's probably like tops in MVP. But, yeah, I don't know. I could see him leaving eventually, maybe. Even though he's so beloved there. I don't know.
Booker?
Yeah. That shot against the Knicks at the Garden. Oh my God.
I don't like him.
Oh, I hate him.
Like
yeah, neither do I.
I don't like his face.
I know.
I don't know.
We've talked about this. Michael Myers.
Yeah. Michael Myers.
Such a punchable face, but he's good. He is good.
He's very good.
I hate him, but he's good. Yeah.
He reminds me of I think I told you guys this also. He reminds me of the villain in 10 Things I Hate About You. I think it's the name of the movie.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Let me see if I can Google this while we're going.
You would recognize.
You talking about like the rom-com from the 90s with Heath Ledger?
No.
Yes.
No, the villain though. The other guy, he has like the slick back, like dark hair.
Oh,
yeah,
oh, God! That dude was like a teenage heartthrob in the 90s, and then he just disappeared.
He was in a lot of. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of different things.
Yeah, for some reason, Devin Booker reminds me of that guy.
Okay.
The face, I can see it now. Yeah.
You see it a little bit?
I do.
Okay.
That's so random but hilarious. Nice. I don't know what happened to that guy, that actor. He was like, in a bunch of rom-coms, I feel like, in the 90s, and then...
Wasn't he always the villain?
What do you mean? He bleached his skin, now he plays for the Sun.
I'm trying to think what other movies he was in. We'd have to IMDb it. I don't even know his name, so I couldn't even check if I wanted to. But
we get on this all. Andrew Keegan,
right? What other movies do you have it in front of you?
10 Things I Hate About You. Camp Nowhere.
Camp Nowhere, yes.
That one, and I'm going to give you one more that was good. Othello, or O.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yes.
He gets.
I remember him from O.
Yeah, he was on the basketball team, right? That movie's so fucked up, by the way. I mean,
crazy movie.
It is, yeah, crazy
twisted.
Movie. So twisted. Josh Hartnett, right? Hartnett, is that?
Yep.
Yeah, and Mekhi Phifer.
The Terminator.
Who?
Wasn't the cop from the Terminator? Or no, am I thinking someone else?
The cop from the Terminator, he owned Ramsey Outdoor in The Sopranos.
Yeah. I thought he was the coach, too.
No, the coach is Martin Sheen.
Oh, Sheen. Yeah. Sheen.
And I can't believe I'm remembering this top of my head. I haven't seen that movie in like over a decade.
Julia Stiles.
Yeah, crazy movie. Great.
Flip that on soon.
Great flick.
Speaking of basketball movies, have you guys seen the trailer for this Lady Ballers?
No.
Okay, so it's like the anti-woke comedy movie. It's by the Daily Wire. You know the Daily Wire. That's Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens. It's like a conservative media company. So there's this movie called Lady Ballers, and it's basically about like a bunch of like guys. They like start like a women's basketball team because now like men are playing in like women's sports, so they're like making fun of that and shit. You haven't seen the trailer for this?
No.
All right, yeah, take a look. It looks funny, but it's like, I don't know. I just the political stuff in all the movies. It's just like I don't need it. Like leave the world behind.
No.
Paul, you saw it, right?
Was that political?
Well, it's all like predictive programming, basically. It's all like it's all shit that like conspiracy theorists have been like talking about for like years. Like basically like being thrown in your face. Like like we're gonna do this basically, and you're gonna like it. Yeah, we were watching it. It was like, edge of a seat. The movie's pretty good. Well, it's kind of crazy, right? It's a cyber attack, and then supposedly just this week there was like cyber attacks from China, right? And isn't that what basically the movie's about, Paul? Kinda. Yeah. You don't really know. It could have been like, any one of those people, right, or countries. Yeah. But yeah, the ending. I don't want to spoil, but Adam, from like the ending, what do you think? At 1 out of 10, what do you give it? The ending? Man, a 4. Yeah. Definitely under a 5. Well, you know what? They left the meat on the bone. Yeah. Well, I read about the ending, and basically what they're trying to say is like America is so focused on the wrong thing. Yes. Like America's so asleep. Most people care about like Taylor Swift or Friends or some bullshit. Or like the ending of a Netflix movie. I get it. Yeah. So that was kind of like the moral there. I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about it. But like, what's the most twisted part about this? I mean, me and Adam just wanted to see a good ending. I was like, what is happening right now? But like, what's crazy is like, there's so much symbolism in it and like propaganda, and of course the Obamas are the producers on it. They like helped with the script, and that was weird. It's so fucking weird. Twisted. Julia Roberts doesn't age. No. She looks the same. She does not age. It's a good cast. Ethan Hawke, Mahershala Ali, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon is great in it. Yeah, these are all people I like. Yeah, Kevin Bacon. They're trying to make what, like the MAGA conspiracy guy, basically. Yeah, of course. Yeah, like the doomsday prepper. Yeah. What do you think Elon thought about all of his like Teslas, like just piling up on the? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. I said it. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Crazy times. So everyone check that out. Good flick. We just ruined the entire movie, but go watch it. What else? Anything else?
Well,
Juice never joined us. Juice never joined.
Josh. Let's hope he sleep.
Yeah, pour one out for Josh tonight.
Yeah, get a good sleep. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. What's he doing?
He might be on the clock the way his job's been too.
Yeah, he might text us at like 2 a.m. Like, oh guys, sorry, I'm on my lunch break. I was at work. Like, oh, okay. So, all right, good shit, guys. I think we said it all.
Tommy Cutlets.
You know. So yeah, I think we'll be back in 2 weeks. Christmas is on Monday. We can maybe do unless you guys are away that week. Is everyone around?
I should be good. Should be good.
Yeah. We'll do that Wednesday. We'll preview the college football playoff. We'll have updates on NFL and all that good stuff. So
For sure.
Rodgers might be in the lineup by then.
What's that?
Aaron Rodgers might be the starting quarterback.
Who knows? We may be. That'll be after that game. That'd be insane. But wouldn't surprise me.
I like it.
All right, guys. Take care.
Peace.
Comb your hair.
Yeah.